This is the Morning Swim Show for Friday, April 13th, 2012. I'm your host, Peter Bush. In the Phoenix Monitor today, we'll talk to Dana Vollmer. She's the reigning world champ in the 100 butterfly, and Dana joins us right now in the Phoenix Monitor from Richmond, California. Dana, welcome back to the Morning Swim Show. How you been?
Great. Thanks for having me.
It's a pleasure to have you back. So you just returned from Australia, I hear?
I did. I was down in Tasmania training for a month.
Training, working on what?
I was training in the ocean, mainly working in the waves, and we did a lot of sprint stuff, a lot of technique stuff. I was down there working with Milt Nelms. He's worked with Ian Thorpe, and just really working on my connection with the water and my speed, and just really trying to figure out any ways that I can get faster right now.
Now, why training in the ocean?
I feel like it's such a different environment than being in the pool. It's like you have waves crashing on you from all sides. I do a lot of, if you catch a wave, and you have to have so much body energy to catch a wave in the first place, because there were about like 8-foot waves sometimes that we were catching, and then staying in that wave and then working on my butterfly, not only to not fall out of the wave, but actually learn how to use that energy in the water. And going from being able to work on my butterfly in an environment like that, the pool just seems so calm.
This is certainly out of the box thinking.
Yeah, Terry McKeever has had us working in the ocean ever since I came to Cal, and we take a lot of team trips to the ocean, and I just think it's really, really powerful for learning how to work with the water, learning how to get the most speed that you can. I think it's really helped my underwaters and my turns, and she introduced me to Milt Nelms, and then I think this is my third time to go over to Australia to train with him.
Wow. Well, it's certainly working. I mean, you went 56.4 last summer.
Yeah, my butterfly feels completely different. I think before I was thinking more about power, and it thought about rhythm, but more about how much I could get out of my legs and how I can make arms better. And through working in the waves, I've figured out how to use the buoyancy of my body, how to be more efficient with all the movements that I do. And so when I'm swimming my race, kind of everything I'm thinking about is every effort that I'm putting forth should be making me go forward. And I think being in the ocean, you can really feel if you do something that hurts your momentum going forward, because you'll be out of the waves so fast. And so really learning how to do that, I think, has made my butterfly a lot easier and has really helped the back half of my races.
Does it help with freestyle as well?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, there's so many parts of freestyle where, you could be losing hold on the water or not getting much out of it as you could. And so the same thing that I described with catching the wave and doing butterfly, you can do the same thing with freestyle as well.
Well, Sarah Soystrom is probably watching this interview thinking, where can I find an ocean?
She better not steal my tricks.
Speaking of Sarah, she's swimming pretty well lately too. It's looking more and more like it's going to be a fun 100 fly race this summer.
Yeah, I definitely was watching her swims, and she's having a lot of good races, and she's someone that I enjoy being around. I definitely want to beat her. First and foremost, I've got to get myself on the team, preparing the best that I can, going into trials, and then hopefully it'll be a great race between the two of us.
Okay, let's talk about health a little bit. We heard that you had some food allergies last year, or you discovered what they were last year, and they may have been affecting your training?
Yeah, I had stomach aches forever, and they had always taken a back seat to injuries that I had had. I had a bad back injury and shoulder tendonitis and different things, and so I never really wanted to complain about, oh, I have a stomach ache. And once we got all my injuries healed, that really became the biggest thing that I could take care of. And discovering that I'm really sensitive to gluten and really sensitive to eggs, and taking them out of my diet, I had felt like I would do a hard workout and I could have a great workout on like Monday and Tuesday coming off of a weekend of rest, and my body just wasn't recovering. I would go into my next workout on Wednesday feeling like I had just gotten finished with my Tuesday workout. And taking out the gluten, I feel like I have so much more energy. I don't have headaches anymore. My body feels like it really actually uses the food that I put into it. There are so many times where I would eat a big meal because I know I needed fuel, and then my stomach would just hurt so bad afterwards. And it was hard for me growing up because, you're trying to be healthy. And so in the morning I would eat scrambled eggs, and you snack on crackers and different things throughout the day. And back in the day when carbo loading was such a big thing before meats, I would always go and have a huge bowl of spaghetti. And to find out that those things were hurting me so much, and taking them out of my diet, I recover, my body feels better, I have more energy going into all my races.
Is that, it's one thing when you're at home and you can prepare your own meals, but when you go on trips, especially when you're like with a team and everybody's kind of eating the same food, how do you make sure that you get the diet that you need?
I definitely bring a lot of food with me. I pack my own bars. I bring, for Worlds this summer, USA Swimming was fantastic, and they were able to ship boxes of food that I cook here myself. And so I had my gluten-free oatmeal and different things ready for me at Shanghai so that I could have that and not have to worry about accidentally eating foods that are going to upset my stomach. So traveling with foods has definitely helped, but it's pretty easy to get rice and chicken and vegetables, and most of the time USA Swimming asks for things to be kind of plain, so they don't have the sauces and different things like that, or at least it's on the side. And so when we travel around, it's hasn't been as bad when I'm on national team trips. And if it's just me going with the Cal team, then I'll make sure and bring a lot of my own food.
How's your heart?
The heart's been great. I haven't had any problems with it. I've loved getting to do speaking events for the American Heart Association and get to share my story that way. And actually on April 20th, there's a Go Red for Women event in San Francisco that I get to be the keynote speaker, and they flew my mom out, and so this will be the first time that my mom gets to be there and speak with me as well.
Well, that's nice. Well, I don't want to be over dramatic, but I mean, if some people maybe didn't know, you're supposed to have a defibrillator poolside when you swim, just in case. Is that still true?
Not anymore.
Okay, not anymore.
When I was 14, yeah, they said I had patterns of long QT, and so my heart could just not beat again, and resulting in sudden death. And so they told us I had to have a defibrillator with me at all times whenever I was working out. And, as a liability when I first went to school and had to have a lot more tests done so that I could compete for college, had to have a defibrillator with me all the time. And luckily, when I came to Cal, we did a couple more 24-hour monitors, saw a couple different cardiologists, and they completely cleared me. And so I no longer have to worry about it or carry the defibrillator around with me.
Well, that's good. Well, speaking of when you were younger, in 2000, you're 12 years old. You're the youngest swimmer at the Olympic trials, right?
Yes.
My question is, can you look back and say that being there definitively helped you going forward? Because it kind of goes to the bigger question, the debate about trials. Are there too many people who are allowed to come to Olympic trials, and which makes you have to wait until heat 15 to swim?
Yeah. I think in 2012, I think it helped me being there going into 2004, just because I kind of knew what to expect. But I also feel like I could have gone into 2004 with the excitement of trials and how well the meet is run, and would have had just as good of a meet. It's hard to know that going into this year's trials, there's like 2,000 people there. And while I think it's a great experience for swimmers, and I think it's a great goal that people have really wanting to go to the Olympic trials, the issue comes up for me with warm down space, warm up space, pool deck space, seating for the athletes. It just gets so crowded that we still want our top athletes and whoever happens to make the team to be able to get the warm-up that they need and prepare for how they need. And if we have so many people there, that's hard to do. Yeah,
I think they're going to tighten up the standards for 2016. I think they're going to make it a little bit more difficult to make the meet. In 2004, you did make the team. You were young. You were just 16 at that time. I asked this question with Missy Franklin in mind. What was it like? You're the teenager, You're on the team, and there are naturally some big-name college coaches also on the Olympic staff. Do you imagine Missy's is this going to be kind of a recruiting trip if she makes the team going to London?
I think it's a great opportunity for her to just really get to feel different coaches' coaching styles, being able to work with Terry, to work with Jack in Shanghai, and just really get to be around the coaches. I think that that's an opportunity for her that a lot of athletes don't have. A lot of athletes just get to go on a recruiting trip or interact with the coaches on phone calls, but I think it'll be a good time for her to really feel out different people's coaching styles. And she's such an amazing athlete, and I'm so glad that she wants to go to school, because I just think it's an experience that you can't replace. It's being a part of a team. It changes how I view national team relays. Those are my favorite part of meets, are being a part of those relays and having the pride of representing your school and standing up there and having to race in multiple dual meets throughout the year and having to be fast even when you feel horrible. And so I'm really, really glad that she wants to go to school and not turn professional yet. And, but I think it's a good opportunity for her just to really get to feel out where she wants to go.
Well, in the summer, she's certainly helping your chances of getting a gold medal from a relay or two into your arsenal, right?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, she's such a powerhouse, and but looking ahead to trials, I am doing the most that I can to get my hand on the wall before hers. It's fine that she's on a relay with me, but there's only 2 spots, and so everyone's fighting for them.
Hey, you wouldn't be a great swimmer if you didn't think that way, Dana. You will go toe-to-toe with her in a couple events, that's for sure. Hey, how's married life? We haven't spoken to you since you and Andy tied the knot.
Yeah, it's amazing. I absolutely love it. He's back swimming again as well, and so he gets up every morning, and we've been traveling around. He actually came to Australia with me for the month, and having him there, it was the first time that he had ever trained in the ocean, and I really like having different people's views in the ocean as well, because he had never done it, and it was a bonding experience for us. He didn't have to go to work, and so we were just really got to be together, and I wanted him to share with me in that part of my life in going to my trips to Australia. And we just got a English Bulldog puppy as well. She's 8 months now. Her name's Mally, and it's an amazing feeling to be able to know that no matter how I swim, I have the love of my life standing next to me all the time, and he doesn't care if I win or if I get last. And it's really been a good way of taking pressure off myself and looking forward to life after I'm done swimming. And I am so happy.
I was going to say, it seems like you're at a good spot right now in your life. We're happy for you.
Thank you.
Well, Dana, thank you so much for joining us. I have a feeling we'll be talking more about you in the next few months.
Hopefully.
All right, good luck this summer. That's
Thank you.
Dana Vollmer joining us in the Phoenice Monitor today from her home in California. And that's it for today's show. I'm Peter Bush, reminding you to keep your head down at the finish.